Okay, so you are welcome once more. Today we'll be looking at the laws of indices. Okay, the laws of indices. Now, indices have several laws that we apply to solve what problems. Okay, there are several laws that we apply in indices to solve what problem. Okay, so for today we'll be looking at law one, or we'll look at this law. Okay, now this law say that am times an is equal to a to the power m plus n. Okay, so when you look at this law of indices, when you are multiplying, you add. Okay, if you are multiplying, you add. That's what this law is saying. Now, before you add it, you need to check the bases. Are the bases the same? Okay, so we have a to the power m times a to the power n. Now, when you look at the bases are all the same. They are AA. Okay. So now this law says if the bases are the same, you add what the exponent or the powers. That's why when you look at this, I added m to n because the bases are the same. Okay. Now we are going to use these principles to solve problems, to solve mathematical what problems. Okay. Now when you look at the example one, we have a 2 to the power m times 2 to the power n, and that is equated to 2 to the power m plus n. Now, when you look at example one, you realize that the bases are all the same. The bases are 2. Okay, so since the bases are the same, and we are applying this law of multiplication, that if you are multiplying the bases are the same, you add what the exponent or power. Okay, so since the bases are the same, it means that we are going to add m to what n. So that's example one. Okay, now when you look at example two, we have 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 5. Now you realize that the bases are all the same. So what are we going to do to the exponent? We'll add it. So in this sense, we'll add 3 plus what 5, or we'll add 3 to 5. So here we have 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 5. So that will give me 2 to the power 3 plus 5. Now when you add 3 to 5, or when you add 3 to 5, you have your result as 8. So in this essence, our result will be what? 8. Okay. So here we have 2 to the power 8 as our result. Okay. Now let's look at the third example. Now the third example gives us 16 to the power 2 times 4 to the power 2. Okay. Now you realize that 16 is not a prime number, neither 4 is a prime number. Okay. So now the first thing that we need to do is to get the prime product for what? 16 and 4. Okay. Now, when you look at the diagrams below, you realize that the prime product, you will draw the factor tree. Okay. You realize that the prime product for 16 will be broken down to the simplest. Okay. Now, when you look down here, you realize that 16 will give us 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 to the times 2, about 4 of them. So that will give us 2 to the power of 4. Okay. We'll later look at it. Okay. So now the prime product for 16 will give us 2 to the power 4. In this uh, example, we use the factor tree to break it down. Okay, what number and what number will you multiply to give you 16? You break it down. The other number, ask yourself, is the other number a prime number? Now we call this prime product because we are only using what prime numbers. Okay. Now when you look at example 2, the second one, the second number, which is 4. Therefore, we have 2 times 2, which will give us 4. Okay, the two numbers are prime numbers. So in this essence, we are going to use 2 times 2, which will give us 2 to the power of 4. Now, after getting the prime product, you replace them in the places of 16 and 4. So in this instance, I replace 2 to the power 4 in the place of what? 16, and 2 to the power 2 in the place of what? 4, right? Now when you replace them, you realize that there are values on top of 16 and 4. Okay, so you use those values, or yes, you use those values to multiply with the numbers at the powers of 2. Okay, so we use the 2 outside to multiply with the 4 inside, so that will give us 8. And we use the 2 outside here to multiply with the 2 inside, that will give us 4. So we have 2 to the power 8 times 2 to the power 4. Now, per the laws of indices, when we are multiplying, we need to what? Add. So in this instance, we'll add 8 to what? 4. So here we have 2 to the power 8 plus 4. That will give us what? 12. So the result for this will give us 2 to the power what? 12. Okay, so that's the solution for the first law that we look at. Okay, so later on we'll look at other laws and we'll apply the principles to solve problems. If you have any question, you can put it on the comments and I will see. Thank you very much.